actually never seen a deformity like that before. Hello, welcome back to Sage and Stone Homestead. My name is Heather. This here is Christine, and Christine is 8 years old this year. I'm not exactly sure how many freshens she's had, but this is her second freshen here on our farm. She is finally in labor. She's 3 days overdue, and for her I hand bred her. So every time I saw her in heat, which was more times than I'd really like, I gave her to the buck, and after 5 months of hand breeding, she finally settled this pregnancy. And last year she had a single doeling for us, and we're really hoping for another doeling this year. But I actually think she's got more than one kid in there, which is super exciting. She's not super amused right now, but it won't be long. She's been having some pretty good contractions. And Christine is not normally a lap goat, but she's being a lap goat right now. Right, you say hi to the people. Just in case you're not already aware, when you hear things that sound like machine guns in the background, that's exactly what they are. We live really close to a military installation, and they've been training really hard. So tonight I'm hearing a lot of different military noises. We are really used to it. You guys may not be, but it's nothing to worry about. So it's quite a bit later now, and I ran to the house to get my portable charger, and Christine went into my birthing bag and pulled out red raspberry leaf. Do you want some of this? Listen, you gotta breathe. Get your nose out of the bag. I'll dump it in your thing, okay? Is it good? So you can probably tell that it's daylight now. Several hours later, I actually did get a little bit of sleep. She seemed to stall out at some point last night, but wasn't stressed out, so I wasn't worried. My other goat, Shvenny, did this recently. So I did get a few hours of sleep. Looked on the monitor at about 4:45, and I could see she had some goo dripping, which she still has goo dripping, and we are at probably 7:15 right now. So she's had this goo trail going for quite a while. She is still ruminating. I think one of the problems that she's doing it right now is every time bits of goo drop, she's obsessing over licking it. And normally this is really motivating for them and it gets things going. For her, it seems to be super distracting. I know I've seen it before where they have their first baby. Sometimes it takes a little while for the second baby to come out, if there is going to be a second baby, because mom is so focused on cleaning the first baby off. It kind of stalls things for a little bit. I feel like that's what's going on with this goo. So for the last little while, I've been following around with straw, trying to clean up the goo so that she can get things going, because it's been kind of a while, but it's still not alarming at this point. It's been a long process. In there a little bit superficially, and I can feel hooves, but I don't feel a nose straight behind, and I want to make sure that the kid's head maybe isn't crooked back or bent downward. Good girl. Baby's positioned fine. Seems a little bit big, but Christine can do it. Yeah? You can do it. Not yet. You gotta get it out. Next contraction. Give me a good push. Okay. I got like the front feet out. Head's right there, but she's not, which is weird because if there's something there, she should be pushing.
Yeah.
See, I've never seen this before. There's a contraction. It's been a while in between contractions with the baby literally right there. That's why I pushed calcium a little bit, hoping that I could encourage the contractions to be more effective, but all she really has to do at this point is push. And she's not doing it. Baby's in good position. The baby was moving. I don't think it is anymore. Come on, baby. Are you alive? Yes, it's alive. Mama, push. There we go. Are you all right? Yep. Okay. All right, coming. All right, look, here's Mama. Oh. Giant buckling. Beautiful. Good boy. Good boy. There you go. So gender disappointment is real, but that's not what this is. I'm happy that we have a healthy baby. He's going to be added to our meat goat program. We did need more meat goats, and he's going to be wonderful for that, and he's beautiful, and he's going to be a huge benefit to our family, as well as his mother's milk will be a huge benefit to our family. It's just the last time I dealt with a big single buckling in a La Mancha, it did not turn out well, and so, sorry, I'm gonna try to get it together. Hold on. Do you need to be sucked out, dude? Hold on. So she labored for a long time, and she didn't exactly labor hard for a long time, but she went, like, I don't know how long she had that goo coming out, because like I said, I woke up to it at 4:45, and she gave a couple tiny pitiful little pushes, and then literally nothing. No more contracting, no more anything. That's why I decided to check. And one of the reasons that things can stop and stall is, you know, a dead baby. I could feel that the baby was alive, but then I could also feel that he was big. So I had a few little flashbacks there, and if you don't know the story, I'm gonna link it at the end of this video. We lost a doe and a kid last year, and it was really hard. But this is where I call on my goat people with a little bit more experience. I don't know if this is a sign to stop breeding Christine. I don't know if maybe I should have pushed Pitocin, oxytocin. I do have that. I'm gonna do a little bit more research. But I do know as does get older, Christine is 8, they start being less efficient at the birth giving process. And if there are some signs here that that's what I need to do, is retire her, I would love your help in figuring out if that's what needs to happen. Because as you saw, even with the feet hanging out, the head was right there, like the head was through the pelvis. I knew that she had passed the baby through the pelvis and it wasn't gonna be a problem to deliver, but her uterus just gave up. It just didn't do what it was supposed to do, and she didn't push. She didn't push with the head and the legs right there and that big old baby. So I did. That was 100% pull, 100% pull on my part. And I'm just grateful that they're both okay. So he's not as vocal or as active as I like to see. This is exactly how Elvis was when Elvis was born. Elvis was Christine's kid from last year, and I didn't end up giving Elvis any selenium at that time, but I think she probably did need it, so I will probably opt to give this kid a little bit of selenium. But I also just think he's tired. That was a long time. I think he didn't have any. Oh, is he gonna stand? Are you gonna stand? Oh, there's your voice. That's your new baby. So it was kind of a rough delivery for him, so I'm sure he's tired, but I didn't notice any meconium in the fluid, so that's good. He wasn't too stressed, but I do need to make sure that he eats. I do need to give her some postnatal support, and I'm gonna bring you guys back when he's all dried off. This box is too small. Okay, you can stand, right? You can, oh, okay. Here, let's just put you in. Overload, you don't say. Well, we tried. Boop, 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 boop. There he is. I'm gonna take just the tiniest bit of colostrum out of Christine's udder. She's got a lot of udder here to deal with, and I've never harvested colostrum and saved it in the freezer before, and I think it could be a good thing. So from what I've heard, you should freeze colostrum in like 2 to 4 ounce increments. So I'm gonna plan to take a cup, half cup from each half, and then there's gonna be plenty left in there for him. He has had his first drink, his first several drinks. And then I'm gonna save this just in case we happen to have a kid born that might need a little bit of an extra boost for whatever reason. So some of you may have already caught this by now. I did notice it, and it's really apparent in the first part of the video that I've already edited. This guy has what's called parrot nose, or parrot mouth, I think it's called. He has a little bit of an overbite. So the goats only have the front teeth on the bottom. On the top, they have what's called a dental plate, and those two areas of the mouth should line up well to make eating, you know, more efficient. So when a goat has parrot mouth, it looks like a parrot's mouth. You know how parrots have that beak that hangs over? It looks a lot like that. See if I can open it up here. And see if it's gonna come in properly. I know. Can we show the people? So his bottom teeth here are set pretty far back in comparison to where they should be in relation to that dental plate. See that? Yep. I'll grab one of the other kids so we can compare. Here's Margie's little boy. We've been calling him Bean. See if I can do that. Can you see the difference there? The teeth just barely come in front of that dental pad on the top. So the bottom teeth barely come up on the top. And what this allows, it allows them to properly break off grass or leaves or anything off of their forage and then eat it. Can you see that? That's how it should line up. I'm gonna go back. So I've actually never seen a deformity like that before. I have seen multiple teats, which arguably in certain circles it's not really a deformity, but the parrot mouth is. And I haven't looked too much into it. I've just done an hour's worth probably this morning. It looks like it could be genetic. So I contacted Hamish's breeder, our buck, and she's not seen it in her herd. And so we don't really know a lot about Christine's history, and she was culled from her first farm for a reason, and I don't know that that wasn't one of the reasons. So honestly, it's a good thing that all she had was the one buckling. It would be a lot harder to swallow if that was the doe that I had been really hoping for. It's not that I have to look at a doe and be really sad that I don't get to keep her because of that deformity. That's definitely not something that's going to make his life easy. He may not grow super well, but right now he does seem to be nursing really well, and we're just gonna have to watch him. But it's definitely not something that I would want to keep back in my breeding stock. Having said that, I'm going to want to keep a really close eye on Elvis. Remember, Elvis was Christine's doeling from last year. Elvis doesn't have that deformity, but I don't know that she doesn't carry the genetics or the propensity for that to come out. So we're gonna have to look at her kids pretty closely when she has them in about 6 weeks. And if Elvis also is carrying that gene, we're still gonna keep her, but she's gonna be a meat goat producer only. I wouldn't be able to use her in my mini La Mancha program, which would be really sad, but it's not that we can't recover from that. Kind of on that same note, there's something I kind of want to talk to you guys about. I had seen in a few different places relatively recently people talking about how influencers shouldn't film themselves crying. I don't know what they really see wrong with it, but that they think that it's wrong if you film yourself crying, that you're trying to get attention or something like that. So I thought about that as I started welling up in front of the camera earlier, but that was real emotion. It's always real emotion. It's never fabricated. I have actually shown myself crying a few times on video, and it's never like I have started crying and then kept myself up crying while I got the camera set up. It's always been in the middle of talking about something or doing something, and it's just real, it's authentic. The fact is, farming is hard and tornadoes are scary. And the whole goal for me on this channel is to help encourage you guys to do hard things. And in order to encourage you to do hard things, I'm gonna show you that things are hard and show you that it's okay to be upset about some things. It really is. So I've decided to leave that part in the video. I think it has value. I think that when your homesteading journey gets you in a place where you either cry or you feel like crying, you can remember me. I consider myself a pretty tough cookie and understand that we all kind of go through stuff like that. Even if we don't necessarily all cry outwardly, there are some things that are very trying when it comes to this lifestyle. And I don't want you guys to ever feel alone in that. You're not alone in that. I think what's more important is being able to see what's in front of you, react to it, feel it, assess it, and then determine how to move on properly. Also too, I wanted to let you guys know who are still here with me at the end of this video that I'm gonna take my first planned content break that I think I've done in the last couple years. I've been posting pretty regular content and I love doing it. There's a lot of content this time of year, but I'm really tired. And it's not because of the content that I'm tired. It's because the last couple nights I was up almost nonstop with Christine, trying to catch her in the act of giving birth so I could film it, yes, but also so I could help her if I needed to, and it turns out that I did need to. We've got some severe weather coming up. That always really captures my attention. There's some things that I have to do around the farm in order to get ready for that. Also, my friend Megan is coming over a little bit later this week. She is one of the faces of GWP Homestead. We're going to be doing a couple fecals for some of her little goats. It's gonna be a really good time. I don't plan on filming that. She may do so you may get to see a little bit of that over on their channel. I don't know. But also I have to do our taxes. The deadline for that is very swiftly approaching. And I also really need to get some things listed on our website. I need to get some honey shipped. There's just some back office things that I really need to take care of. So my goal is to not be gone for longer than a week. Today is Tuesday. I hope to show you or give you another video on Tuesday. It may be as early as Sunday. It just depends how productive I can be. This little girl here, her name is Boba, and she is the next up to give birth. She's out of our Margie line, and she was bred to Odie. She's one of Havoc's daughters, and her udder is looking really, really amazing. She is due April 14th, so not very far away from now, and it's gonna be her first freshen. I've been back here feeling her ligaments, getting her used to having her back end touch, and I can tell that her ligaments really are starting to soften, so I don't know if she's gonna make it all the way to her due date. We're just gonna have to see.